electromagnetic force produces in the circuit and there is no any flow of current. Similarly, the temperature at junction and becomes imbalanced in the potential variations induced in the circuit. The magnitude of the electromagnetic force induced in the circuit relies on the source of material utilized for thermocouple making. The entire flow of current throughout the circuit is calculated by the measuring tools, whereas the electromagnetic force which is induced in the circuit is calculated by the following equations. So E is equivalent to A of del theta plus B of del theta into 2. Where del theta is the temperature difference among the hot thermocouple junction end as well as the reference thermocouple junction end. A and B are to be the constants. What about the advantages of thermocouple? So actually the accuracy will be high. It is robust and it can be used in environments like harsh as well as high vibrations. The thermal reaction is very fast. The operating range of the temperature is wide, whereas wide operating temperature range and its cost is low and it have extremely consistent. What about the disadvantages of thermocouple? It has non-linearity, least stability, low voltage. The reference will be required, will have a least sensitivity. The thermocouple recalibration is a hard one. What about its applications? So applications, it is used in offices, homes, offices and businesses. They are used in industries for monitoring temperatures of metals in iron, aluminium and metal. So these are used in the food industry for cryogenic and low temperature applications. So thermocouples are used as a heat pump for performing thermoelectric cooling. They are used to test temperature in the chemical plants, petroleum plants, and they are used in gas machines for detecting the flame. Whereas the case of a thermistor, actually the resistance value is sensitive to a change in temperature is known as thermistor. This is the passive component in the circuit and the material which is used in the construction which differs from RTD. The thermistors are made by using ceramic or polymers. The temperature measured from this thermistor which produces accurate values. These are all cheap and robust in nature. But it does not go well when you consider an extreme cold and hot junction. When the requirement is raised to maintain certain limited range, thermistors are preferred. In this case of large temperature range, RTDs are used because they are made up of pure metals. What about its working principle? The principle obeyed by the thermistor is its dependency on resistance values on the change in temperature. The value of resistance can be measured by using an ohmmeter. These are connected in series with the battery and the meter. The change in the resistance is depending upon the material chosen in the construction of thermistor. Thermistors are considered to be a special variety of resistors. So the resistor is known for limiting the amount of current in the circuit. So if the temperature tends to increase in the circuit, decrease in the specific resistor, it is decided based on the coefficient of temperature. The linear relation between the temperature and resistance is given by, so dr is equivalent to K into dd, where dr is the change in the resistance value, where K is the temperature coefficient, where dt is the changes in the temperature. So this equation is known as the approximation of the first order differentiation type, whereas the temperature change analysis is based on the coefficient. If the coefficient of temperature is positive, then the increase in temperature increases the value of resistance. So hence this type of thermistor is referred to as positive temperature coefficient. If the coefficient of temperature is negative, then the increase in temperature results in the value of decrease in resistance. So this type of temperature thermistor is known as a negative temperature coefficient. Now characteristics of thermistor. It changes based on whether it is of positive coefficient type or negative coefficient type. In the positive temperature coefficient type, the temperature and distance are in direct proportion, whereas in the case of negative, they are inversely related to each other. So now characteristics exhibited by thermistors are to be named as non-linear. So it can be varied in two different ways. One to be by varying the temperature, the other to be the concept of self-mutual inductance. The advantages and disadvantages we can say about an compact, long, durable, and less expansive, good stability, and then self-heating is avoided by minimizing the current passes through it. Whereas the case of disadvantage, it is not easily interchangeable. It is to be a non-linear. It is to be a fragile. It has a high resistance and noise performance. Applications, these are to be compact. It can be used as a temperature sensors. In the automotive industry, in order to measure the temperature of the coolant and the oil, in the trucks as well as in the cars. So household appliances make use of thermistor to increase or decrease the amount of heat required. To protect the circuits from the overloading effect, that is by increasing the resistance value. Hence, the thermistors are considered as the circuit production elements. So, in the circuit of Wheatstone bridge, so what will happen, Abhina? Rechargeable batteries, electronic device circuits, thermistors are utilized. So, this is about a thermistor and the thermocouples over on it. Okay. So, the remaining thing that we can see in the next class.